So I want you to come along with me and learn how to cook shrimp etouffee. That is pronounced etouffee. Short E, number 2, and the woman's name Faye. Ettouffee. That's how you pronounce it. Now, I'm cooking this tonight, not my wife. She usually does the cooking. This is actually my first time to ever cook shrimp etouffee. I've watched her do it, but I wanted to do it myself tonight, so I'm giving it a try. I did get a few of the steps out of order. You may catch that in the video, but it all turned out wonderful. Just goes to prove that if you don't do it in the exact order, it really doesn't matter all that much. But you'll probably catch that as it goes along. It turned out tremendous. One thing about etouffee, the etouffee that we cook is a blonde roux. Some people, if you Google etouffee, you'll see recipes with tomatoes or stewed tomatoes or rotel tomatoes. That's more of a Creole. That would be shrimp Creole, or what I would consider shrimp Creole, which Creole food is more from around the New Orleans area. Creole is a mixture of cultures. It's Cajun, African, Indian, Spanish, German. It's kind of a mixture of all of those into one. And so there's a lot of different influences there. Cajun's a little bit different. So the styles may vary just a little bit. But anyway, come along with me and let me show you how I cook shrimp etouffee. Okay, so here I am washing my rice. I have 2 cups of rice and I'm giving it a good wash, and then I'm going to drain the rice. Okay, after the rice is drained, then I'm going to add the water to cook the rice. And if you notice, I'm adding water and then I'm sticking my finger in the water. The reason I do that is because if you go to the first knuckle above the rice, that's the perfect amount of water to cook rice in. I learned that from my grandmother. All right, put a little bit of salt in there. We like pink Himalayan salt, personally. Okay, I have washed all of my vegetables. That's the celery, the bell pepper, the onions, green onions, and parsley. Please wash your vegetables. And now I'm going to give it all a good chop. Now, I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me chop it. And you don't have to look at my knife skills because I am not a chef. But just give it the best you can, the best chop you can. Okay, so there's my chopped vegetables and all my other ingredients. We're using Tony's. And so I took the Tony's and seasoned my shrimp very lightly. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a tablespoon of butter to sear off my shrimp. Not that much. All right, so I have washed my shrimp, patted them dry, and seasoned them just lightly with Tony's. And now I'm gonna put them kind of a single layer into the pot just to get them seared up. At this point, they only need about 50 seconds to a minute on either side, because they're going to finish cooking once you put them in the etouffee. Alright. Shrimp don't take long to cook, so. You're basically just getting some color on either side. Once you get these cooked up, then you can set them to the side. You'll add them later into your dish. All right, got my shrimp cooked up. Just a little color on. You're gonna reserve that juice that is in there. We're gonna add that to the roux just a little bit later when we get the mixture together. Now, this is entirely an optional step. You do not have to sear these before you put them in. You can put them in raw. Many people do that. I just chose to do it this way, but you don't have to do it. Again, it's just about a minute on either side just to get a little bit of color, and then you reserve that to the side and you'll add that to your roux mixture in just a little bit. All right, so let's throw together the roux. You're gonna make basically a blonde roux for the base of this. We're gonna use about 4 tablespoons of butter. Down. Okay, my butter's melted, so I'm going to sprinkle in my flour. Again, this is a 4th cup of flour, and I'm just going to cook the flour taste out of it basically. Keep stirring, you don't want to burn it. This is not going to be like a dark roux like you would for gumbo. This is going to be kind of a light roux. All right, I don't know if you can see, that's about the color that we're looking for. Not nearly as dark as like gumbo roux, but it's really to your liking how dark you go. We're going to go ahead and whisk in 2 cups of. Now I should have actually added my vegetables at this point instead of the stock, but I did it backwards. It still turned out great. You see what I'm doing? Make sure you get all the lumps out of there. All right, now in Louisiana we call this the Trinity. Now, of course, we don't believe in the Trinity. We are oneness, but this is the only time we use the Trinity. So it is bell pepper, celery, and onions. So we're going to add that to our roux. Add fresh garlic, by all means, go for it. But I'm using garlic. All right, so my vegetables have cooked down. They're still cooking down a little more, and they're going to cook down more as the sauce simmers. But we're going to go ahead and build our sauce before we add in our shrimp. So I'm going to add back that butter mixture from when I seared the shrimp. I'm going to put that in there. Just add a little more flavor. Okay. Incorporated, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of garlic, and again, it's to your taste, to your liking. I'm not a huge garlic fan, so I'm going to go in with about 2 little spoons now, and then I'm going to add the rest of my seasoning and just season to taste. I don't want to over season. We're using Tony's, and a lot of the seasoning is already in here, but it also has a lot of sodium, so I don't really add salt when I'm cooking because of that. I will add a little bit of paprika, just a little bit. Okay. And some black pepper. And again, season to taste. If you don't like a lot of seasoning, so just hold back on this seasoning. I would suggest using some type of Cajun seasoning. But again, we use Tony's, but we actually use all types of Cajun seasoning. We're not just partial to Tony's. We use Pat in the Pot. We've used Hi-Ya, which is Cajun Ninja. It's just kind of all to your liking. Okay, so my sauce has been simmering for almost 15 minutes. I don't know if you can tell, that's what it looks like right now. I'm going to go ahead and add my shrimp back in, and then add some green onions in there to cook down with it. And I'm also going to reserve a little bit of green onions for garnish at the end. Let's go ahead and add the shrimp back in. And all the juice from the shrimp. We're going to add some green onions. Again, I'm going to reserve a few green onions for garnish at the end. These green onions are from my garden. All right, it's done. It's time to plate it up. So here's my rice, nice and ready for me. Go in with a few scoops of this awesome stuff. Okay, so my plate's ready. I'm gonna garnish it a little bit with some fresh parsley and just a little bit of green onions. That's what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? All right, let's get a taste of this. So good. Oh my goodness. Try this, you will love it. Shrimp etouffee, nothing like it. All right, there you have it. Go make you some. You'll be glad you did.